If someone is seriously injured or killed because of a defective tire, for example, if there's a tire failure that causes the vehicle to lose control and get into a crash, or if there was another vehicle that had a tire failure that lost control and hit the injured person's vehicle, they may have a defective tire case. And generally, here in Florida at least, it's going to be a negligence case, a defective design case, a defective, let me start again.
Okay, it's good.
Do I have a defective tire case? In most jurisdictions, if someone is seriously injured or killed as a result of a tire failure, they need to ask the question as to whether or not they can bring a case against the manufacturer or the distributor or someone who serviced the tire for that defective tire. And the reason is because there have been millions of tires recalled here in the United States. There are lots of defective tires out still on the streets that haven't been brought back in. And we also know that there are lots of tires that have not been recalled, that because of the way that they're designed or because of the way that they're manufactured are defective and experience tread separations before their useful life has expired. Unfortunately, bringing a case for a defective tire against a manufacturer or distributor is extremely expensive. The cost can run into typically the hundreds of thousands of dollars because of expert witnesses, because of the discovery that has to take place, and the cost of trying the case. So generally, it has to be a serious injury. In other words, if it's just a minor injury, most law firms that do these kinds of cases can't do it because at the end of the day, there won't be any benefit, any net benefit for the consumer, which is the whole goal. But sometimes, especially if there's a serious injury or a death, the lawsuit for product liability claims against the maker of a defective tire can be the only source of compensation for a family who's had a serious injury or lost a loved one. So if there's a serious injury or a death that was the result of a crash involving a tire failure, you need to ask the question. You need to look at the case. It's going to be fact-driven. It's going to really depend upon the history of the tire, the way it was made, the way it was designed, but at least ask the question, and you need to have an expert look at that case to determine whether or not there's a valid cause of action and a valid lawsuit for the injuries and any deaths that were caused as a result of a bad tire.